The truth behind Song Hye Kyo's tears while filming. Imagine a master filmmaker whose whispered secrets could unravel the fragile egos of Hollywood's elite, only to find his own legendary aura cracked open by a single damning audio file that echoes like a ghost in the machine of modern stardom. In the swirling vortex of Chinese entertainment's latest scandal, a leaked recording from late October 2025 has thrust Wong Kar-wai back into the unforgiving spotlight, capturing him in candid conversation with screenwriter Qin Wen as they dissect the facades of A-list icons like Tang Yan, whom he bluntly calls fake, after their tense collaboration on the lavish period drama Blossoms Shanghai, and others including Liu Shishi and Chen Daoming, their barbs laced with a mix of envy and disdain that feels all too human for a director often mythologized as untouchable. It's a moment that pierces the veil, reminding us how even the architects of cinematic dreams harbor grudges as sharp as the neon blades in their own stories, leaving fans to wonder if the man who captured longing in slow-motion rain is now drowning in the backlash of his unguarded tongue. This revelation doesn't just stir gossip. It resurrects a litany of hushed grievances from Wong's storied career, where the pursuit of perfection has left scars on the very stars who helped forge his indelible legacy. Wong Kar-wai, that elusive sorcerer of Hong Kong cinema, stands tall among titans like Zhang Yimou's sweeping epics, Ang Lee's introspective migrations, and Hou Hsiao-hsien's meditative landscapes. His films a hypnotic blend of melancholy and urban pulse that redefined Asian art house for global audiences. Born in Shanghai in 1958 and uprooted to British Hong Kong as a child, Wong absorbed the city's chaotic rhythm, the clamor of street markets, the flicker of Cantonese pop songs on radios, the ache of diaspora in rain-slicked alleys, infusing his work with a Proustian nostalgia for moments that slip away like smoke from a cigarette. His debut, As Tears Go By, in 1988, borrowed the gritty triad energy of Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets, but laced it with a tender undercurrent of doomed romance, starring a young Andy Lau as a reluctant gangster torn between loyalty and love, foreshadowing the emotional fractures that would become Wong's signature. Yet it's the heartbreak woven into these tales that tugs at the soul. Watching Lau's character spiral evokes a quiet sorrow, as if we're witnessing not just a man's fall, but the inexorable pull of fate on all fleeting connections, a sentiment that lingers long after the credits fade. From those raw beginnings, Wong evolved into a poet of the ephemeral. His 1990 sophomore effort, Days of Being Wild, plunging deeper into the haze of 1960s Hong Kong youth, where Leslie Chung's brooding yuddy drifts through affairs like a shadow in a fever dream, his indifference masking a profound isolation that mirrors the director's own fascination with unrequited yearnings. The film, shot in the sultry heat of the Philippines to evoke a lost paradise, pulses with the influences of French New Wave icons like Godard and Truffaut, their jump cuts and voiceovers reimagined through Wong's lens as fragmented memories that refuse to cohere, much like the humid nights where sweat and secrets mingle indistinguishably. It's impossible not to feel a pang of empathy for these characters, their restless searches for belonging evoking our own quiet desperations, the kind that surface in the dead of night when old photos stir ghosts we thought we'd buried. Awards followed swiftly. Nominations at the Hong Kong Film Awards for Best Film and Director, cementing Wong's reputation as a visionary, unafraid to let stories breathe in ambiguity, a boldness that would both elevate and exhaust those who stepped into his world. Then came Chungking Express in 1994, a whirlwind love letter to the city's underbelly, conceived and shot in a mere month as a palate cleanser after the sprawling ambitions of his wuxia detour Ashes of Time. Yet it exploded into a cultural phenomenon that captured the restless hearts of a generation. Two interlocking tales unfold in the neon-drenched corridors of the Chungking mansions. First, a heartbroken cop, Takeshi Kaneshiro, obsessively buying canned pineapples as if sweetness could mend his expiry date's soul. Then, Tony Leung Chu-wai's lonely night shift officer falling for the quirky diner girl, Faye Wong, who dances to California's Dreamin' in a sunlit apartment. Their chance encounters blooming into a symphony of serendipity amid the din of expat hawkers and flickering signs. The film's improvisational jazz, Wong scribbling dialogue on set, cinematographer Christopher Doyle chasing light like a lover, infuses every frame with electric immediacy, earning it a cult following from Quentin Tarantino, who screened it at Cannes, to Wes Anderson, whose symmetrical whimsy owes a debt to its playful framing. But beneath the charm lies a bittersweet undercurrent, a reminder of how love often arrives disguised as coincidence, leaving us to marvel at the fragility of joy, hearts swelling with the hope that somewhere, in some crowded high-rise, our own expired cans might yet find a taker. That same year, Ashes of Time unfurled as Wong's ambitious foray into martial arts mythology. A labyrinthine tale set in a sun-blasted desert where swordsman Ouyang Feng, Leslie Chung, brokers vengeance for wandering warriors, his life a tapestry of blurred identities and unspoken regrets. With Brigitte Lin dual role as the enigmatic Peach Blossom twins, their sibling rivalry a poetic duel of mirrored desires. Drawing from Jin Yong's wuxia novels but subverting the genre's heroic tropes into a dreamlike reverie, swords flashing in slow-motion eddies of sand, scored to Tan Dun's haunting erhu. The film was a technical marvel, yet its initial release bewildered audiences with its non-linear haze, only redeemed in the 2008 Redux cut, where Wong excised bloat and amplified the ethereal poetry. Lin's performance, fierce yet vulnerable, cuts deepest, her brief glimpses evoking a profound sense of loss, as if we've glimpsed a mirage of wholeness that evaporates upon approach, stirring a melancholy admiration for her stoic grace amid the chaos. Though it didn't sweep awards like its siblings, the Redux version garnered renewed acclaim at Venice, underscoring Wong's relentless pursuit of refinement, a trait that, while genius incarnate, exacts a toll as arid as the Gobi itself. No dissection of Wong's oeuvre escapes the gravitational pull of Happy Together in 1997, a raw, sun-soaked odyssey of a fracturing queer romance, transplanted from Hong Kong's confines to Buenos Aires's tango-haunted streets, where Tony Leung and Leslie Chung embody Phi and Po Wing in a cycle of passion and rupture that feels as visceral as a knife twist. Shot guerrilla style after the handover anxieties of 1997, with Wong channeling the exile of his protagonists to mirror Hong Kong's impending British surrender, the film erupts in bursts of color, fiery reds of desire, cool blues of despair, capturing their toxic dance from euphoric reunions to brutal betrayals, all underscored by Astor Piazzolla's aching bandoneon. Leung's quiet intensity, simmering beneath explosive outbursts, earned him Best Actor at Cannes, while Wong snagged the Palme d'Or for Director, a triumph that affirmed his global stature, yet hinted at the personal excavations required, leaving viewers breathless with the recognition that love's fiercest flames often scorch the hand that holds them closest, a truth that aches with universal resonance. The pinnacle arrived with In the Mood for Love in 2000, a masterpiece of restraint, where Maggie Cheung and Tony Leung portray neighbors in 1960s Hong Kong whose spouses betray them, forging a bond of exquisite tension that never quite consummates, their stolen glances and whispered confidences unfolding like a cheongsam-clad waltz through shadowed hallways and noodle shops. Wong's script, born from a single image of infidelity's echo, blossomed into a meditation on suppressed longing, every frame saturated in crimson and gold, rain pattering like unshed tears. Yuan Sai-Sai's strings weaving a spell of eternal almost was. It swept the boards, Best Actor for Leung at Cannes, multiple Golden Horse wins, and eternal enshrinement in art house pantheons. influencing everyone from Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation to Barry Jenkins' Moonlight, in its portrayal of desire as a ghost haunting the spaces between. Yet the film's hushed power evokes a exquisite torment, the kind that settles in the chest like fog over Victoria Harbor, making us ache for the roads not taken, our own histories refracted through its lens of what-ifs. Echoes of that restraint reverberate in Fallen Angels, 1995, Wong's nocturnal companion to Chungking Express, a kaleidoscope of hitman solitude and eccentric obsessions prowling the empty hours before dawn. With Leon Lai as a spectral killer outsourcing his kills, Michelle Reese as his ethereal handler, and Takeshi Kaneshiro devouring pineapples with feral glee in a bid to connect. Shot on wide-angle distortion to amplify the alienation of urban sprawl, neon signs warping like fever visions, cantopop blasting from voided apartments. The film revels in its marginalia. From a woman's mute devotion to a father's street corner sermons, all converging in a ballet of missed opportunities. It feels like a fever dream of insomnia's grip, exhilarating in its frenzy, yet poignant in its isolation, stirring a wry affection for these lost souls who, like us, chase meaning in the detritus of midnight cities. Though less awarded than its peers, its cult status endures, a testament to Wong's alchemy in turning ephemera into eternity. The leaked audio's shadow falls heaviest on those who've toiled in Wong's orbit, none more poignantly than Song Hye Kyo, the luminous South Korean star whose descent into the Grandmaster's protracted inferno in 2010 became a cautionary parable of auteur excess. Envisioned as a cameo as Jong Yong-chung, wife to Tony Leung's Ip Man in this opulent biopic of the Wing Chun legend, her involvement was pitched as a breezy few months amid the film's martial poetry, sweeping crane shots over misty Hunan hills, balletic fistfights choreographed by Yuan Wo-ping, a score blending shamisen twangs with orchestral swells. Instead, production ballooned to 3 grueling years, script pages doled out like rations, 1 improvised line per day, forcing Hye Kyo to navigate the role's emotional shoals without a map, her days blurring into a limbo of hotel rooms and half-formed scenes. Whispers of her passport being held to anchor her in China, though she later clarified in a July 2025 interview as the director's desperate bid to prevent escape, paint a picture of control bordering on captivity, her freedom bartered for art's elusive perfection. The final cut? A fleeting 6 minutes. 1 solitary line uttered in quiet defiance. Key moments like a tender foot-washing ritual or a charged slap, excised without mercy, leaving her contribution a whisper in the wind. It's a gut-wrenching injustice, evoking fury at the disposability of talent in genius's shadow, yet a reluctant awe at the film's 2013 Berlin premiere triumph, nominations aplenty, a visual feast that immortalized Leung's stoic grace, wondering if such sacrifices ever truly balance the scales. That same alchemy of agony and apotheosis ensnared Takuya Kimura, Japan's smap heartthrob turned thespian, whose odyssey through 2046 from 1999 to 2004 mirrored a life upended in service to Wong's sprawling sci-fi reverie. As the stoic talk in this mosaic sequel to In the Mood for Love, a writer's fevered recollections of lost loves aboard futuristic trains bound for the titular year, starring Gong Li, Zhang Ziyi, and Fei Wong in vignettes of erotic memory and temporal drift, Kimura poured 6 years into a role that spanned his bachelor days to fatherhood, marrying singer Shizuka Kudo and welcoming 2 children amid the endless reshoots in Bangkok's humid sprawl and Tokyo's sterile sets. Wong's process, devoid of blueprint, evolved the script through nightly revisions, lenses swapped mid-take to capture the iridescent sheen of longing, crimson kimonos against chrome futures, rain-smeared windows reflecting fragmented selves, resulting in a Palme d'Or contender that dazzled at Cannes with its labyrinthine grace. Kimura's reward? 7 scant minutes on screen. His character's quiet intensity reduced to poignant echoes, a footnote in a 129-minute epic that grossed millions and inspired Sofia Coppola's own nostalgic drifts. The disparity stings like a half-remembered dream, breeding sympathy for his stolen prime years, yet igniting admiration for the resilience that turned personal upheaval into celluloid gold. A reminder that true artistry often demands the currency of one's own unfolding life. Brigitte Lin, the androgynous icon of 1980s Taiwan New Wave, fared no better in the crucible of Ashes of Time. Her dual embodiment of the Peach Blossom siblings, a tour de force of poised ferocity that Wong whittled to near invisibility in his quest for mythic distillation. Envision Lin, at the height of her swordswoman reign in films like Bride with White Hair, channeling sibling discord into fluid swordplay across sun-bleached dunes. Her characters mirrored fates, a ballet of betrayal and buried affection, intertwined with Ouyang Feng's brooding exile. Production, already labyrinthine with its all-star ensemble, Jackie Chung, Tony Leung Ka-fai, Maggie Chung, stretched under Wong's iterative gaze, scenes reshaped in post as he sifted for essence amid the sandstorms. The 1994 theatrical cut glimpsed her in flashes, but the 2008 Redux, premiered to acclaim at Venice with a new Michael Galasso score and CGI enhancements, paired her presence to a 1-second evocation, a spectral afterimage that haunts more than it inhabits. It's a cruel poetry, evoking indignation at the erasure of such luminous craft, her poise a beacon snuffed too soon. Yet a deeper reverence for Wong's unflinching edit, which honed the film's dream logic into a sharper blade, leaving us to ponder the ghosts of what might have been in those deleted dunes. The pantheon of Wong's muses, those who weathered his tempests with varying fortitudes, reveals a spectrum of endurance. From the exhaustive iterations endured by Zhang Ziyi in 2046, her sultry Su Li Zhen reborn as an android echo, demanding dozens of takes to nail the flicker of synthetic heartbreak amid the film's kaleidoscopic futures, to Tony Leung Ka-fai's weary assassin in Fallen Angels, reshooting nocturnal prowls until exhaustion etched authenticity into every shadowed step. Tony Leung Chiu-wai, the director's North Star, across 7 odysseys, from Chungking's Wistful Cop to Ip Man's Unyielding Sage, embodies the ultimate symbiosis. His silences deeper than scripts, forged in marathons of repetition that peeled back layers of restraint to reveal raw vulnerability. In interviews, Leung recalls the liberation of Wong's scriptless voids. "We never know the end, so every moment is alive," yet admits the toll, years lost to limbo that tested marriages and mirrored his character's quiet despairs. It's profoundly moving, this dance of trust amid trial, stirring a cocktail of envy for their alchemy and heartache for the unseen labors, as if Leung's gaze holds not just the screen, but the weight of all unspoken tolls. Even Jackie Chung, the operatic tenor turned reluctant rogue in Days of Being Wild, bore the brunt of Wong's perfectionism, recounting in later reflections a simple head tilt expression reshot 60 times to capture the exact shade of youthful insolence, each iteration a lesson in precision amid the film's humid ennui. Chung, fresh from TVB stardom, infused his lock with a magnetic volatility, crooning ballads in karaoke dens, unraveling in tropical torpors that anchored the ensemble's fever. Yet the endless loops left him wary, prompting a post-collaboration retreat to family and cantopop empires, wary of such immersive demands. The anecdote, shared in a 2016 chat, underscores the micromania at play, evoking a mix of amusement at the absurdity and profound respect for the discipline it bred, turning minor gestures into monuments of mood. Much like how Chung's voice later soared in Phantom of the Opera, a phoenix from those early fires. Amid this cavalcade of casualties, Faye Wong emerges as the defiant outlier, a celestial force who bent Wong's chaos to her will in both Chungking Express and 2046. Her pixie-cropped dreamer in the former, a whirlwind of gum-chewing rebellion, stealing hearts with a California Girl cover that became an anthem of 90s cool. Refusing the reshoots that ensnared others, Wong clocked out at day's end with clockwork precision. Her insistence on boundaries channeling a pure, unadulterated energy that the director himself lauded as focusing on the present moment's vitality. Her scenes crackling with an authenticity born of autonomy. In 2046, as the spectral Su Li Zhen, she reprises that ethereal poise, her digital double gliding through memory's corridors with a wistful detachment that elevates the film's mosaic. Spotted reuniting with Wong in 2022 after an 18-year hiatus, their rapport hints at mutual reverence, a rare harmony in his discordant symphony. It's invigorating to witness, her unyielding spirit a beacon of self-possession that infuses her portrayals with electric immediacy, leaving us to cheer the rare victory of artist over auteur, where presence trumps prolongation. Ang Lee, that Taiwanese-American maestro of shape-shifting narratives from Crouching Tiger's wire fu ballets to Brokeback's ranchland heartbreaks, once encapsulated Wong's singularity in a 2008 Museum of the Moving Image tribute. Only Wong Kar-wai can do this, marveling at his evasion of the ironclad schedules and corporate leashes that bind lesser directors. Production houses demanding budgets balanced on predictable timelines while Wong wandered free in creative wilderness. Lee's own path, from Sense and Sensibility's Austenian wit to Life of Pi's oceanic illusions, mirrors Wong's in bridging East-West sensibilities. Yet he envies the Hong Konger's license to improvise, scripts as living organisms reshaped by actor alchemy and Doyle's kaleidoscopic gaze. This endorsement, delivered with a mix of awe and gentle ribbing, validates the method's madness, evoking a scholar's nod to a fellow innovator, hearts warmed by the camaraderie of those who know the grind's true cost, yet persist in pushing envelopes. The leaked tape, with its viral clips dissecting Tang Yan's performative charm on Blossoms Shanghai, a 2023 prestige project where Wong's period glamour clashed with her star wattage. Chat logs and voice memos now fodder for netizen courts, has amplified these echoes into a chorus of reckoning. Qin Wen's screenplay fingerprints on the drama now tainted by their off-mic candor about industry hypocrisies. Released amid Shanghai's Roaring Twenties revival, the series drew 1.2 billion views on iQIYI, its Art Deco opulence and jazz-infused betrayals a Wong hallmark. Yet the audio exposes the interpersonal fissures beneath. Comments on stars' overreaching ambitions feeling like daggers, from a director who demands total surrender. It's a disquieting intimacy, breeding unease at the pedestals crumble, yet a curious fascination with the unguarded intellect that birthed such beauty. As if peeking behind the curtain reveals not monsters, but mere mortals, muddling through egos as labyrinthine as their plots. Song Hye Kyo's saga, resurfaced in the scandal's wake, crystallizes the unpredictability that defines Wong's realm. Her 3-year odyssey, a microcosm of the passport rumor turned testimonial. "I was tied up," she confessed in 2025. Voice steady, but eyes shadowed, highlighting the control dynamics that blur art and imposition on sets where days dissolve into weeks. The Grandmaster, with its philosophical duels and Leung's meditative mastery earning Golden Globe nods, owes its hypnotic flow to such extensions, rain-drenched confrontations gaining mythic weight from iterative polish. Yet the human ledger tallies differently. Hye Kyo's sidelined arc, once a promise of cross-cultural bridge building after her K-drama triumphs in Autumn in My Heart, now a symbol of overlooked labor. The outrage it reignites feels righteous, a collective exhale for every undercredited soul, tempered by gratitude for the film's enduring legacy. Its slow-motion grace, a balm for the bruises it concealed. Takuya Kimura's transformation during 2046, from idol crooner headlining NHK's red and white showdowns to family patriarch, his wife's pregnancies syncing with script evolutions, underscores the personal incursions of Wong's timelines. The film's 5-year gestation halted by SARS quarantines, yet birthing a tapestry rich with Zhang Ziyi's smoldering cameos and Li Bingbing's fleeting fire. Kimura's talk, a salaryman adrift in romantic eddies, captured in Doyle's fish-eyed distortions that warp Tokyo subways into surreal veins, totals those 7 minutes of quiet profundity. His marriage's milestones woven invisibly into the performance's restraint. It's a poignant irony, evoking tenderness for the man who traded spotlights for fatherhood's softer glow. His post-film pivot to family dramas like Hero, a quieter heroism, while the movie's Cannes buzz and box office hauls affirmed the worth, leaving us to reflect on time's double edge, thief and teacher in equal measure. Brigitte Lin's spectral reduction in Ashes of Time illustrates the post-production scalpel's severity. Her siblings' duel, once a centerpiece of fluid fury, blades singing through air thick with unspoken kin, trimmed to essences that whisper rather than roar. The Redux's solar eclipse prologue adding cosmic scale, but diluting her thunder. Lin, retiring soon after to nurture her health amid lupus battles, infused the role with a warrior's androgynous allure, drawn from her Peking opera roots. Her poise, a defiant bloom in the desert's austerity. The cuts, explained by Wong as honing the intoxicated haze inspired by his father's liquor-soaked tales, evoke a filmmaker's ruthless love, frustrating in its finality, yet mesmerizing in result, stirring sorrow for Lin's eclipsed fire, while celebrating the film's rebirth as a contemplative wuxia poem. Its influences from Kurosawa's Ronin rambles, now purer in form. Zhang Ziyi's endurance in 2046's reshoots, her live form contorting through android malfunctions and memory loops, demanded a stamina honed in Crouching Tiger's treetop ballets, each take layering vulnerability onto her vixen facade, until the character's plea, "Don't leave me," pierces like a shard. Paired with Liang's writerly torment, their scenes ripple with erotic undercurrents, drawn from Wong's literary touchstones like Manuel Puig's Kiss of the Spider-Woman. The film's non-linear folds earning critical hosannas for mirroring amnesia's cruelty. It's exhausting to contemplate, breeding empathy for her ascent from Beijing Dance Academy prodigy to global siren, yet exhilaration at the payoff. Her performance a luminous thread in the weave, affirming that such rigors can forge diamonds from pressure's vice. Tony Leung Chiu-Wai's septet of collaborations, from the soap-confessing vulnerability of Chungking to the Ip Man stoicism that netted Shanghai Film Critics Awards, reflect a tolerance verging on devotion. His off-screen marriage to Karina Lau, weathering the isolations with a grace mirroring his on-screen silences. In Happy Together's Buenos Aires blaze, reshoots amid flu outbreaks deepened the rawness. Liang's Phi, a portrait of masochistic fidelity that won hearts worldwide. The intimacy of their rapport, Wong calling him "my brother," evokes a profound bond, heartwarming in its depth, a counterpoint to the scandals, reminding us that for some, the hardships bloom into lifelong harmonies. Tony Leung Ka-fai, the elder Liang's charismatic foil, endured similar marathons in Fallen Angels, his hitman's wide-lens wanderings reshot to capture the vertigo of moral drift, his baritone growl as anchor in the frenzy. From his 1980s cop thrillers to this art house pivot, the iterations honed a weary charisma that lingers, evoking respect for his versatility, the kind that bridges genres without losing soul. His later turns in infernal affairs, echoing Wong's shadowy influences. Jackie Chung's 60-take tilt in Days of Being Wild, a microcosm of Wong's obsession with nuance, transformed a throwaway beat into an emblem of insolent youth. His Ah Lok's Unraveling, a prelude to the singer's phantom triumphs. The anecdote, light-hearted in retelling, belies the grind, stirring chuckles at the eccentricity while honoring the craft that elevated a pop idol to cinematic force. His voice's operatic range finding visual parallel in those persistent frames. Ang Lee's validation cuts through the din, his introduction framing Wong as the enviable outlier in an industry of checklists, where Crouching Tiger's budgeted ballets contrast Happy Together's organic eruptions. Lee's own accolades, Oscars for Brokeback, BAFTAs for Sense, lend weight, evoking a mentor's pride. The shared Taiwanese heritage, a subtle thread binding their exiles into art. Faye Wong's assertiveness, clocking out amid 2046's sprawl, infused her Su Li Zhen with a present-tense spark that outshone the machinery. Her refusal, a feminist fillip in Wong's male-gaze reveries, drawing from her indie rock rebellions like Didar. Their 2022 sighting hints at unfinished symphonies, exhilarating in possibility. Her energy, a vital counterweight that enriched the film's temporal dances. In sum, Wong's genius, a high-wire act of improvisation over scripted safety nets, exacts a toll that the leaked indiscretions now lay bare, questioning sustainability in an era of #MeToo reckonings and streaming deadlines. Yet, as Blossoms Shanghai's jazz riffs still seduce, and In the Mood's glances hypnotize, the sacrifices persist in justification for acolytes, a grueling grace that defines auteur cinema's eternal allure. The incident, far from diminishment, humanizes the myth, inviting us to cherish the films, not despite the shadows, but because they emerge from such profound, often painful depths. A testament to the heart's stubborn beat amid the storm.